All right. Welcome, everyone, to the last week of the semester and the last week of Success 191. So, I'm going to give the instructions for the final assignment or project. And so, this is going to be found here in the week 9. Who am I? Who will I be? Final project. So, open that up, please. And you will find some instructions here. I'll kind of go through these instructions, and then you'll find the sheet in which you're going to do the planning as well as ultimately turn in your assignment. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating a visual presentation. So you will need either to create your own or have your own paper for this. It can be a couple pieces of computer paper taped together. Probably should be a little bit more than just one computer piece of paper, but you're going to create some sort of mural. And so you're going to be creating a visual presentation showing who you are now and who you would like to be in the future. So you're going to incorporate information that you've learned about yourself from cultural proficiency and our life after high school units. And you're going to be making this mural to illustrate your information. Your activity is going to have two parts, a planning sheet and a finished mural. And so I'll talk through that. So the total assignment is going to be 16 points. It's going to go in the project and assessment category. So it's going to go in a category that doesn't have as many points. So it will be a significant part of your grade. There is a planning sheet, which I'll show you in just a moment, and that is going to be completed on the Schoology document assignment. And then you're also going to create a visual presentation, and it is going to include all the elements, which we'll talk about creativity and organization, and then the overall effort will be put into it. That's going to be 8 points. Right now, these points don't all add up, so I'll change that. And then just making sure that you use your time well. So what is a mural? Well, first of all, I'm going to show you the planning sheet. So instead of getting to the mural right away, I'm going to show you the planning sheet. So you're going to open up the planning sheet, and it talks about what this is all right here, using the information you learned about yourself during the self-discovery, culture and identity unit, career investigation, post-secondary explanation. You are going to start by filling out these questions. So the questions start with, who are you now? So the first question, just talk about what are some of your strengths and your personality traits. So think back to your 16 personality assignment. Think back to your identity map. Think back to just some in general things, like what types of things do you like to do? What are elements about yourself? And you're going to fill in that. Then you're going to get into who are you going to be. So thinking a little bit about the career interests, your post-secondary opportunities, where do you want to live? Who do you want to live with? What your family look like? All sorts of questions kind of getting you to think about what is your vision and your hopes and dreams for the future. So that part of the assignment is really important for you to really kind of think about that planning. I will grade this part of the assignment, but ultimately you are going to create an assignment where you're going to create a visual, and that visual can be a poster, or if you have some sort of electronic like drawing tool, you may use that. So I do want this drawn out by hand. This is not something that I want you to copy and paste pictures into. So you're not going to get as many points if you try to do that. But I do want you to actually draw something out by hand. And you may do that on paper, on a poster. If you don't have poster paper, you don't need to get big poster paper. But if you don't have poster paper, I would take two like regular sheets of paper. So like two computer sheets of paper and maybe put them together into a larger picture and tape them together. And so you're going to use a larger piece of paper, and you are going to create a mural that shows who you are now and how you would then transition into who you ultimately are going to be. So I'll give you some ideas of how you might want to do that. But once again, you need to draw your own pictures. It needs to be color, and it should take up the entire space. So going back to the actual assignment, a mural is a painting with or other type of artwork that's created usually directly on a wall. Obviously, we're not going to be doing it on a wall. You're going to be doing it on paper, and oftentimes uses symbols and incorporates some text to illustrate a message. So it's not a whole lot of text, but some text to illustrate a message. So murals can be abstract or they can be more literal. So these are some examples of murals. These ones obviously are open to interpretation. This is a I'm trying to think what this is. I believe this is. This is in Israel and Palestine. Taking a look at, a message showing that everyone wants their own self-determinism. Here's a mural Here's a mural. Here's a mural. So you can kind of take a look through those murals. But at, obviously they're super creative. They're super open to interpretation. So for those of you who are really creative, feel free to like use some of the ideas in here to show how you are going to transition from who you are today into your future self. Um, However, sometimes murals can be a little bit more like this. So they don't necessarily have to be these huge, beautiful pieces of artwork. So I know that some students struggle and they say, hey, I'm not an artist, right? I'm not an artist. I don't draw very well. But even simple representations of some things about yourself are going to be important. So one thing that I always suggest to students, and I'm just going to pull up and open a Cami, just a blank document real quick. And I would probably put my document, let's see if I can switch it, but I would probably rotate it so it's more like this. And if you want to use Canva to draw, you are welcome to. I know also some people who like to draw use other digital tools, as long as it's your own drawings and not just copy and pasted images. But one thing that I think is helpful for students is, I'm just going to use the not the highlighter, sorry. We'll start here. Okay. So one thing that I think about is like who I am now. So having this left-hand side about this is going to show who I am now. And then over here, I'm going to show who I will be. And then over here, I'm going to be drawing pictures that represent who I am now. And then, you could even split your paper in half. You don't have to. And then over here, these are pictures of who I'm going to be. And then there's some sort of transition. So students try to create some sort of like transition where they show like how they're going to get from one to the other. So in order to turn that in, you can either take a picture of the poster that you created and insert it into this document right here. Or if you do a digital copy, you can copy and paste the shareable link here. I'll have some, if you have any questions, talk to me next week. The rest of the week is going to be focused on making sure that you have everything else turned in. And this is your final assignment. And for many of you, I'll see you in human geography next semester.